And now for a next news special report.
And now a special report you're going to want to tell your friends about. It's been a whirlwind in the courts. Former President Donald Trump has just pulled a move that could reshape the narrative, possibly dismantling the very case built against him. Many are calling it a bold legal gamble, while others are saying it's pure genius. And believe me, by the end of this, you'll want to stay tuned for my final thought, a perspective you won't get anywhere else. Now, we've just received word that former President Donald Trump is making waves in the federal court. On October 5th, Trump's legal team, spearheaded by John Lauro, made an unprecedented request. They asked a federal judge to dismiss election interference charges against Trump, presenting an argument that might be a masterstroke in the legal world. They're invoking what is known as presidential immunity. Now, for those not familiar, this immunity claim is based on federal law, a law that's been cited in previous court decisions highlighting that a president has immunity for actions taken within the outer perimeter of their official responsibility. The argument here, the charges presented by the U.S. Department of Justice Special Counsel Jack Smith, are precisely those kinds of acts. This claim means, and I paraphrase, that if a president's actions lie within the confines of his official duties, he is, for all intents and purposes, immune from prosecution. Trump's legal team went on to say that the Biden administration was breaking 234 years of precedent by levying these charges against Trump. A precedent. That's a long-standing tradition in our great republic. But the story takes another turn, as journalists from NBC News, namely Ryan Riley, have made eyebrow-raising comments about Trump. Riley was alleged to have reported that Trump was high on his own supply. Watch.
Former President Trump has filed a motion to get his federal election interference indictment dismissed. We just got our hands on it, 52 pages. NBC's Ryan Riley has been looking at it. What does the document say?
You know, essentially what they are arguing here is that the scope of his duties included what he was doing around the election. Essentially that he did really believe these things around the election, effectively that he was high on his own supply here, and that he didn't have impure motives, that he actually was trying to go to address questions of election integrity, and that's what he was doing in the scope of his duties. They want to say that this was all about what he was responsible for doing as president, and that this is not chargeable conduct because this was part of his job as president. He was actually upholding his oath of office here. So they're sticking with that idea that he actually did believe this. Of course, there is a long history of Donald Trump believing false claims about the election. Of course, infamously in 2016, he refused to concede that he lost the popular vote, even though he obviously won the Electoral College, and said that there were millions of fraudulent votes in that case as well. So there's an established history they can lean on here, but essentially saying that this case cannot be brought forward because Donald Trump was doing his duties as president. So expect, obviously some very firm opposition and some strong arguments coming back from the special counsel's office when they get a chance to take a whack at some of these arguments that the Donald Trump team is making here, Chris.
Not biased at all. As we just heard, the Trump team is making some robust arguments in their defense. Trump, like anyone, is using every resource and strategy available to him. And there are some situations where a unique strategy can truly make a difference. For a moment, imagine that you're trying to lose weight. You want to make sure you're on track, and one way to do that is by stepping on a scale regularly, keeping that goal forefront in your mind. But what if, to accelerate that progress, you had a natural supplement to help, something made from science-backed Mother Earth ingredients? Many Americans are now turning to just such a solution, hoping to boost their metabolism and manage their weight. I've personally come across an exceptional alternative offering these benefits, and for this month only, there's a staggering 51% discount available. To grab this offer while it lasts, visit trimwithgary.com. Now back to the matter at hand. The charges against Trump revolve around claims that he lied about fraudulent votes in the 2020 presidential election. The indictment accuses him of spreading these claims to erode public faith in the electoral process. Trump's actions supposedly violated federal laws, but the former president has not only pleaded not guilty, but has also dubbed this case a fake case. He sees it as persecution of a political opponent. But the drama doesn't end there. U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkin, an Obama appointee, recently denied a request from Trump that she step away from the case due to remarks she made during the sentencing of those involved in the events of January 6th. Trump's lawyer flagged these remarks, suggesting they showed bias against him. However, Judge Chutkin's take was different. She stated that her remarks do not manifest a deep-seated prejudice and therefore doesn't see a reason to recuse herself. She was randomly selected for the case, which of course is standard procedure. It's also important to highlight that Trump is not only facing these charges, he's juggling other allegations, including those in Washington regarding attempts to overturn the 2020 election results and others in Georgia over alleged conspiracies involving officials like Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. Today we've witnessed what can only be described as a masterstroke from former President Donald Trump. By invoking presidential immunity, he's not just challenging the charges against him, but is highlighting the audaciousness of the entire case. And the audacity of Jack Smith and Joe Biden is evidence. Their clear bias and brazen interference regarding the 2024 election are beyond concerning. And it's disheartening to see the Department of Justice bring forth such groundless charges against a figure like Trump, who by all accounts operated within his presidential duties. The irony? While Trump is being accused of election interference, it seems the tables should turn. Shouldn't it be Biden and Jack Smith answering for their actions? We can only hope and pray that justice sees through this facade and vindicates Trump. For the sake of our great republic, may the real perpetrators face the consequences of their actions.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.